Remember that commercial that made us all stop being afraid of Darth Vader? Yeah, the Dumbo animated feature from 1941 is not like that. It's actually really freaking horrible, which is of course why NerdWire made me revisit it. I'm Whitney Van Laningham, and here's why Dumbo is kind of a horrifying period piece from the 40s. Wait, hang on. Have you donated to our Patreon yet? What are you waiting for? Each month we'll be hooking it up with exclusive behind-the-scenes content, shoutouts, and the ability to speak directly with me and Chris about your video ideas. Click the link in that description box to become a member of the NerdWire team. And if you can't donate your money, we'd love it if you'd share our videos with your friends. Now on to Dumbo!
Did you ever see an elephant fly?
Well, I seen a horse fly.
I seen a dragonfly.
I seen a house fly.
Okay, so first, let's address all the rumors. Dumbo is racist. Yeah, there's a very prominent scene involving a murder of crows who sing in a very culturally appropriated way. You know, that was the 40s. People were still making movies about how the kindly white folk weren't the bad guy. They were nice to black people.
We worked all day, we worked all night, we never learned to read or write. We're happy, hearted, house to house.
We're all now very aware that Disney has had multiple opportunities to be more inclusive about their filmmakers, and that they've gotten a lot better about inclusivity in the past decade. For example, they hired Indigenous Hawaiians as consultants on Moana to make sure everything was accurate and respectful. And yeah, Moana is still a cultural appropriation because it was made primarily by white dudes. But with Dumbo, it was the 40s. Did Disney hire a cultural sensitivity department? No. Should they have? Would it have made this movie better? Would it make me less sick to know that this is the financial miracle of Disney in the 1940s? Yup, you bet it would! This movie isn't great. We're gonna get to that, but let me start this off by saying, oh, wow. This movie was set in Florida.
Oh, that must be it.
Okay, should have been prepared for this. They begin the movie by saying that through snow and sleet and wind and rain, storks will deliver your babies. But not Mrs. Jumbo's stork. Nah, that guy's a day late and $1 short. One could even say he doesn't have executive function. Wink. But either way, elephant infertility is no joke, and even before I knew about how some women have to get shots in their ass to conceive, I knew that these elephant ladies were being weird a-holes about it.
Which one of you ladies is expecting?
Not me.
The very idea.
Certainly not.
Anyways, wow, okay. People used to just be really cool with incompetence, didn't they? This stork is so late, and he tries to deliver it to the wrong Casey Jr. cage multiple times. This stork is like Whitney Van Laningham level late for work, and lazy. Unless, did Disney make the stork late because elephant gestation periods last longer than any other mammal on Earth? Because that would make sense. Carrying a baby from 18 to 22 months sounds like kind of the worst thing ever. So, the stork drops off the baby elephant, sings him a song, cool, and then he leaves, and the real housewives of the circus get antsy.
Isn't there some mistake?
Just look at those. The EARS.
Okay, first of all, shut up. You're all just mad because you're single and Mrs. Jumbo is happy and having a baby. Which brought me to thinking for a second, where's Dumbo's dad? Where are all the elephant husbands? And then I remembered that they hunt elephants in order to mutilate them and harvest their ivory tusks. My dad just left my mom for like a hot Cal 9 reporter. This is so much worse.
Happy birthday, a dear. A dear me, what's his name?
Jumbo Jr.
So with Jumbo Sr. out of the picture, Mrs. Jumbo names her son Jumbo Jr. I know that this movie is called Dumbo, but from here on out, we're calling him Jumbo Jr. because guess what? These bullies called him Dumbo and they really hurt his feelings.
Jumbo? You mean Dumbo?
Dumbo.
Why are these grown elephant women bullying a newborn? He'll grow into those ears. Just because your husband died at the hands of a hunter, Karen, doesn't mean you get to be bitter about a baby elephant. Speaking of what you can and cannot do to a baby elephant, Are these people just enslaving elephants, camels, and black circus workers? God, this is the version of The Greatest Showman that I really wanted to see. Circus owners were mean to animals and people of color. And hey, you might be thinking, why did Disney make a movie about white people being mean to animals and people of color? Well, kids, Dumbo the Animated Feature was written as a children's book in 1939. It was sold to Disney and painted entirely in watercolor, ready for the silver screen by 1941. You know what else was going on then? World War II. Your history teachers have already told you this, but entertainment was basically used as an escapist vice for people who were really sad about being poor or forced to fight in the South Pacific. After the stock market crashed in 1929, people really needed to go to the movies. And just a few short years after that, the Second World War was raging, men were being drafted, women were rationing butter, and with all those Nazis and the whole Pearl Harbor invasion thing, people weren't having a ton of fun. Disney's animated third film, Fantasia, had already bombed, and early animation fans were jonesing for a new fix. Probably. I assume? I wasn't there. But anyways, in flies Dumbo, a guaranteed success. And how could it not be? It stars an adorable baby elephant and a tiny mouse that reminds me of Kris Jenner. But we'll get back to that in a second.
Make your star a headliner. Dumbo the Great.
For now, let's watch these unpaid humans and animals build a giant tent. Yeah, those are not safe working conditions at all. You know how you watched Hugh Jackman in The Greatest Showman and thought to yourself, this doesn't feel right, there must be more to the story. Yeah, there is. It's called racism and animal abuse, and they conveniently left out the musical number where Zendaya's character was probably purchased by P.T. Barnum and enslaved as an insulting caricature of her culture for an attraction. Barnum used to also keep the elephants in shackles, which isn't quite as dramatic as forcing them to build a tent in the middle of a rainstorm, but the way the pachyderms were treated by their owners was sadistic and cruel. By the way, who are they tricking into going to this muddy, wet tent situation? The idiots from Fire Festival? Oh, cool. So apparently all the rest of the animals just slept in while Jumbo Jr. and his mom were trying to build a big top in the middle of the night? Nice. Hope you enjoyed that snooze. Aw, this is cute. Jumbo Jr.'s getting a bath from his mom. That's really sweet. I love it. Let's just stop the movie here and we can all be happy. Just kidding, my producer would never let me do that. Like those bitchy lady elephants, a group of teenagers decide to start mocking Jumbo Jr.'s big ears. Okay, first of all, you're no Clark Gable either, kid. Second of all, get out of here, don't you have an Algebra 1 class to fail? Mrs. Jumbo is not happy with these kids being dicks to her newborn son, so naturally she decides to stomp the life out of those little buttholes. Oh yeah, there are those elephant shackles I was talking about. Don't you just love the realistic touch? This is a 1940s circus story, damn it, I demand accuracy. Instead of, I don't know, kicking themselves in the keister for thinking it was a good idea to allow smarmy teenagers to play with a newborn animal in front of its mother, the ringleader and the circus hands agree to lock Mrs. Jumbo in solitary confinement. This, of course, means that Jumbo Jr. is on his own again, and boy howdy are those lady elephants still being awful. I'm sorry, but I don't care which one of you is the real Gossip Girl. He's a baby elephant. His mom is in jail. What the hell is wrong with you guys? How is he supposed to get food? Or take a bubble bath? Or stay warm and snug at night? Can you gossipy old Betties chill out for like 1 second and remember that his name is not Dumbo, it is Jumbo Jr., and he is an innocent calf. He needs to be loved and taken care of.
You know, Dumbo, we gotta get an idea. Not just any idea, something colossal.
Luckily, my man Timothy over here realizes that he has an opportunity to make our big-eared buddy a star. I mean, that's cool and all, but why? What is your game, Mouse? Are you getting a cut of the ticket sales or something? Because I have no idea why you want to subject your little buddy to a lifetime of indentured servitude and whiplashes. Let him be a kid. We all know how Disney child performers turn out.
Dumbo, you're a climax. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna take care of your future.
Timothy is a successful momager, just like Kris Jenner, and ultimately books Jumbo Jr. a gig as the world's smallest elephant. Dumbo is clearly not interested in this at all. But of course, Timothy has his handy-dandy poking needle to jab his elephant pal in the butt with and get him going. Just like in the real circus! Of course, our sweet guy's ears trip him up and he ends up toppling the elephant pyramid full of gossipy old biddies. Honestly, good. They were really mean to him. This brings down the big top, but don't worry, the clowns still want to abuse baby elephants. They slap some makeup on Dumbo and perch him at the top of a burning building with actual fire. How are circuses not illegal? Damn it, Phineas Taylor Barnum, be a less terrible person! Right before the clowns start encouraging Dumbo to jump, one of them sprays the burning building with a hose full of gasoline. That's not gonna burn a baby elephant alive or anything. Luckily, or not luckily, another clown smacks Dumbo with a 2x4 and he falls out the window into a giant bowl of whipped cream. The clowns are really excited because if the crowd laughed that hard at an elephant falling 20 feet, they'll laugh extra hard if the elephant falls 1,000 feet. Dumbo probably realizes that they'll make him jump to his fiery death because he's sobbing inconsolably outside. Timothy is literally using his tears to scrub the whipped cream and clown makeup off him. Dude, read the room. He does not want to be a star. Timothy bribes Dumbo into cheering up by taking him to visit his mom in prison. This scene is so tender and beautiful, but again, it makes me want to die inside because every other animal gets to snuggle with their babies and Mrs. Jumbo is stuck trying to hold her son's trunk through the bars of her cell. And after watching a montage of all the precious mother and baby moments of every other animal in the circus, Timothy's like, "All right, kid, your visiting hours are up. Time to go home." Even though there's literally nobody else around and it would have been totally fine if you let him hang out with his mom for like another 5 minutes. While Timothy and Dumbo are gone, some clowns knock a bottle of hooch into a bucket of water on their way to go ask for a raise. Oh dear Jesus, please don't get a baby elephant drunk. Come on, guys. No, he's a baby. Just let him go back and hang out with his mom. Once Dumbo is good and plastered, Timothy decides to get wasted with his friend, cause there's nothing like bringing your pal home from visiting his mom in prison and getting immediately turned. But those two don't just stop at turned. Oh no, they take it a step further and start hallucinating. I didn't know they did magic mushrooms in the 40s, but here we are.
Look out, look out. They're walking around the bed, on their head, clippity-cloppity.
Man, the Pink Elephant song used to scare me so bad when I was little. Probably because I watched it in conjunction with that other horror show nightmare, Heffalumps and Woozles.
They're a terrible sight.
They tie themselves in horrible knots.
They come in stripes. Polka dots.
Beware, beware.
What's with Disney making their elephants all trippy and scary for children? Did Roy and Walt take ayahuasca in the desert and decide like, hey man, let's terrify some children with a horrifying medley of songs about neon pachyderms. That'll be wild. After a night of hard drinking, we get to meet our favorite culturally appropriated characters, the Singing Crows. I know they seem really intensely overdone now, but back in the 40s, everyone was really happy about how inclusive and progressive they were being.
Well, I just can't believe my eyes. They dead, is they?
No, dead people don't snow. Or do they?
I am not making excuses for Disney. I'm just saying that back in the day, makers of Dumbo were trying so hard to get America's mind off the Nazis that they created these crow characters, slapped an inclusive label on the whole thing, and called it a day. The lyrics and vocals are problematic for sure though, so maybe this movie shouldn't have been so hastily canonized as one of the most significant cultural moments in Disney history?
Just look down here, brother.
And prepare yourself for a shock.
But back to drunk elephants! It turns out that when Dumbo gets drunk, he can fly up a tree. When I get too drunk, I just eat too much Taco Bell and fall asleep with my shoes on. His skill is a lot more useful.
Plus, he's got those big ears. They call him a freak. The laughing stock of the circus. Then when his mother tried to protect him, they threw into the clink.
After giving them Dumbo's sob story, Timothy convinces the crows that they're a couple of alright guys. The crows decide that they're gonna help Dumbo learn to fly by giving him a magic feather that isn't really magic and pushing him off a cliff. Jesus Christ, what if he couldn't fly? What if y'all climbed up that tree or got thrown up there by a freak tornado? Timothy's just super confident, like, hey buddy, that thing you did last night that we both don't remember, can you do it again? Yeah, maybe if it was a party trick like opening a beer bottle with a lighter. Dumbo flew up a tree. That's not safe to practice the next day. It just isn't.
Hot diggity! You're flying! You're flying!
Luckily, Homeboy really can fly, so Timothy makes the executive choice for both of them that Dumbo will jump out of a burning 1,000-foot-high building. The idea is that instead of crashing to his death, he'll take off like a fighter jet and fly around the room. Seriously, Timothy, why are you doing this? What percentage of peanut sales are you pocketing? Stop trying to make him do crazy dangerous stuff! I know this is everyone's favorite part, but I really hate it. Dumbo leaps, he soars, he pelts the crowd with peanuts, and as soon as all of those people saw that elephant fly, that ringleader knew he had him owned for the rest of his tiny little life. Because sure, the end of Dumbo just shows him reunited with his mom, flying around, doing what he loves, but what it doesn't show is that in the next town, fake P.T. Barnum over here will charge double the ticket price and throw your mom back in the slammer. Your mouse friend will be swiftly eliminated with some rat poison concealed in peanut butter, and they're gonna start shoving a hot poker up your trunk any day now. That's just showbiz, baby! Guys, the circus is a really messed up place. Don't go to the circus. Stay inside. Maybe watch one of these other videos to the left of my face and subscribe to NerdWire. And I'll be back next week to ruin your childhood.